is the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II after Japan signed the Terms of Surrender on September 2nd, 1945, 4 months after the victory in York was celebrated. Welcome to Junior Historians. I'm Darcy from the St. Charles Public Library. Joining me is Lindsay Judd from the St. Charles History Museum. Today in Junior Historians, we're exploring the history of World War II efforts right here in St. Charles. Lindsay, can you give us a brief overview of how World War II began?
Absolutely. This war is known as the bloodiest and largest war in the world's history. It started only 20 years after the end of World War I. After secret agreements to divide Poland from the Soviet Union, the dictator Adolf Hitler commanded Germany to invade Poland on September 1st, 1939. 2 days later, Great Britain and France declared war on Germany in response, as they had agreed to protect Poland if they were attacked.
How did the United States get involved in the war?
So originally, the U.S. wanted nothing to do with the war and declared neutrality in the European War, which is what it was originally called. But Canada declared war on Germany in September 1939, and Germany continued over the next year to attack Great Britain, Finland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg, and France. Then Italy joined forces with Germany, which led to Australia, New Zealand, India, and South Africa to declare war against them. Though the United States Congress passed an act in 1940 to allow a draft to increase the militia, it wasn't until December 8, 1941, after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, that the United States declared war on Japan. 3 days later, Germany and Italy declared war on us, bringing the United States fully into the war, starting with defending the Pacific against the Japanese.
Are there any businesses in St. Charles which were able to help with the war efforts?
Absolutely. There are 3 companies that come to mind. While nearly everyone helped support the military, from planting and growing victory gardens to rationing goods and buying war bonds, these companies manufactured supplies used during battles to keep the troops safe.
I feel like this site has something to do with your list. What was manufactured here?
So in 1937, the Howell Company moved to St. Charles from Geneva into what had once been a piano factory right along the Fox River, which was located right here. They previously made tubular steel frames for furniture, for dinette and commercial furniture lines, but when war hit, they turned bombs and shell casings, mess trays, airplane wings, and fuselages, which was the plane's body.
Are there any other companies that lent a helping hand?
On North 6th Street is the site of the old Hawley Products Company, originally founded in Geneva and then moved to St. Charles. When wartime rolled around, Hawley Products started manufacturing sun helmets and fiber liners for steel helmets. The Army, Marines, and Navy used the helmets during World War II. The building has since been demolished and is now surrounded by a fence. It's important to point out that it was during this time that many women were beginning to work. To fill the open positions of men who went off to fight in the war, and to help manufacture supplies like helmets, which would keep our troops safe. Our museum's website has a great selection of World War II photographs, including a newspaper ad calling for women to work at the Hawley Products Company. So just like men were drafted, women were also drafted to help work in the factories.
That's pretty cool. You mentioned 3. What was the third company?
So the third company was just east of town on the land that is now the DuPage Airport. There was the Howard Aircraft Company. The company's second location opened in St. Charles to keep up with the demand to build a plane needed by the military. The St. Charles location was only open for a few years, but they built planes specifically for the Navy in World War II. Their most well-known plane was the DGA, which the owner, Ben Howard, originally built for racing. When the war hit, most of the earlier models were commandeered by the military. The Army used them as officer transports and air ambulances. The Navy contracted the company to build hundreds of the DGA-15P models, which were used as officers' utility transports, aerial ambulances, and for instrument training.
Lindsay, this is really interesting stuff. Where can our junior historians learn more?
To learn more, click the link below in the description to visit the St. Charles History Museum's website.
Awesome, thank you. Now join us at the St. Charles History Museum as we go inside, explore a little, and learn about how to make paper model airplanes.
So this is a map of St. Charles. Right here you can see the Fox River. Right here is Main Street, so the bridge going across the river. Right here is where the Howell Manufacturing Company was, and this is right across the street from where we were just filming. Over here, the Hawley Company was located up here on North 6th Street. As part of our Booming Business exhibit, we highlight some of the companies that we were discussing earlier. The Newcomb Hawley Company manufactured this tow target. The target was towed behind airplanes during World War II, and they were used by bomber pilots for target practice. Another company that we highlighted earlier was the Howell Company, which originally manufactured furniture, but they also switched to making things to support the war effort during World War II. So these are two companies that helped support the war efforts, and you can come visit the museum to learn more about each of them.
Today we're making paper model airplanes. I have a dauntless here that we've crafted. It's a pennyweight model, so basically you're going to glue a penny right inside there to help it fly straight. I'm going to show you how to make a wildcat next. You'll need a pair of scissors, an Exacto knife. Make sure you have a parent help you. Paper towels in case glue gets on your hand, your glue stick, a straight edge in case you need to make your folds nice and neat, a pencil to help you like put in little pieces inside there for extra support, extra paper so you can put your glue on there and not get glue all over your surface. And also I'm using a sketch pad to use the back cardboard part to cut my pieces out and without damaging or cutting into my table. I've also added a link to the video for a free downloadable book that you can print out by Philip Koopman Sr. He and his son have created a lovely booklet for you to print out and make your own paper model airplanes for free. I've cut out some of our pieces already. So now I'm going to continue working on the fuselage, or the main part of the body, and I'm going to show you how to fold and then cut out the wings. I've already cut out the tail and rudder, the part of the bottom, the tip of the plane, and also the cabin and the area for the radial engine. I love planes with radial engines. They're my favorite. Okay, so we're going to start. Go very slowly. If you need to, you can use your straight edge to go along the lines here. I've had a lot of practice with an Exacto knife, so I'm just going to freehand it. Make sure you cut out all the little spaces and follow the instructions, because not all things need to be cut out. Like this wings, it actually wants you to fold first, glue it together, and then cut it out. So let's actually start with that first so it has time to dry. So there's a nice dotted line. The instructions call for you to score it first before you fold, so you get a nice crisp fold, and it'll be nice and straight so your plane will fly the best. Now that it's folded in half, I can open it up and add the glue. Using a regular craft glue you can find at any store. I'm using an acid-free. That's great for longevity of your crafts. Make sure you flatten it out so it doesn't get any wiggles or waves in your paper. I'm actually going to sandwich it between my pages here to help keep it and dry flat. And now I can get back to cutting out my fuselage. pull it out, I had already gone through and made sure that all of these little tabs have their associated little openings to fit into cutout. So now we can find our folded lines and fold those down. There's nice little dotted lines that says fold down. It's really easy to follow along. There's pink areas that say like glue here, fold here. It's really wonderful directions. I had a lot of fun making my dauntless, and I can't wait to finish my wildcat here. Again, the instructions suggest that you score all of the folds before you do that. You can print it on a cardstock or on regular printer paper, which I did, and it tells you what kind of penny that you need based on which paper you use. This one, since it's on regular printer paper, suggests using a penny minted after 1982 because the weight changed the year before. Seems like some areas should be folded, but you don't, because it actually ends up creating that round body on the plane. I'm going to start gluing. I feel like a thinner glue stick might give me a little more control over what I'm using. Ooh, let's cap that so I don't injure myself. It's very delicate work. Be patient with it. It's gonna take a little bit. I also brought my pencil so I can push on the inside to make sure it has a really nice connection there. I also have a paper towel so I can get rid of any excess glue on my fingers. The tabs stick out, but we'll eventually cut those off. It's just for stability at this point. Awesome booklet also gives you some of the Japanese planes as well, not just the American fighters from World War II. Most of that done. So now I'm going to cut my wings while I let this dry. Here they are. Make sure you pick the correct side. There's the side to cut on and the underside of the wing. Glue sticks glue a lot faster, so it's easy to do this right away. Following the instructions, so it glues that way. Here's where you would glue your penny on the front of the radial engine before you add the part where the propeller would be attached. I'm going to skip that part today because it takes a little bit longer for it to dry. I'm going to glue it down so I can glue on the next part. And there you have it, your very own Wildcat. Let's see. Not gonna throw the Wildcat because I'm afraid it's not dry all the way. Let's see how the Dauntless flies. Thanks for joining us for Junior Historians. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos so you'll be notified next time a Junior Historians video will be posted. Thanks for joining.